enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. It's Rob and Sandra from My Wife the Dietitian, and this is our midweek mini episode called Nutrition Nuggets.
Yes.
And for those who maybe are just joining us for the first time, our Nutrition Nuggets, we do this every Wednesday. It's like a little mini episode.
It's supposed to be mini. I end up going on and on and on.
Sandra usually has so much to say, it ends up being a full episode.
Sorry.
But they're intended to be like just little nuggets of nutritional information. So yeah, that's the intent. We try to keep it a bit shorter, so there's no like big introduction and all that, other than today, like me just blabbing on here. But
we were going to do superfoods.
Oh yeah, that.
But it ended up being a full episode, so that's going to be Monday.
Yeah. So that's what happens. So anyway, today we're going to talk about how to buy yogurt.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's Rob's question.
Well, I know how to buy yogurt now, but it used to be Rob's question. At one point, I didn't really understand the difference with all of the different, kind of the stuff on the label. And there's like what percent milk fat and how much of what nutrient is important. And so, yeah, we're just going to go over that. It's going to just be a quick little how to buy yogurt.
Yeah, that's a good question. It could be an hour. We could talk for an hour.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
No, it's all good. I'm actually doing a nutrition tour at our local grocery store this week and with the school kids.
I got invited too.
Yeah. And yeah, we're going to talk about yogurt because it's all a huge section. I mean, yogurt, the section has...
Oh, it's enormous now.
Yeah, it used to be just...
Which is another reason why it's so confusing, because it's like, well... Look at all the different options for just yogurt. How do you know which one's good and which one isn't? And this one has this, and yeah. So,
and do I eat dairy? And
yeah, exactly.
That too, because there's plant-based yogurts too, which we've talked about on other episodes. But yeah, two basic things with yogurt is it plain or sweetened? So the sugar part of things and the fat part of things. So is it plain or flavored? And what fat level is it? Is it 0%, 1%, 2%, 3%? And it says MF, milk fat percent.
Oh, and it'll have a percent.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be like 1% MF or whatever.
10% MF.
Yeah, that'd probably be really delicious.
Yeah, that's what
like
keto people would eat that because it's...
Is that what they're called? Keto people?
Well, no, people that are on a keto...
I like keto people.
No, I mean just... It's high fat. So, and you know what kind of fat is in yogurt?
Milk fat, like lactase. No, that's sugar. I don't know. You tell me.
That's the sugar. Do you remember talking to Lee Sanders? What does she say with the kids?
Saturated.
Yeah.
Fat.
Because it's
3 S's.
from an animal.
Because it's dairy.
Because it's from an animal.
Right.
Animal fats are saturated fat.
I just meant dairy is animal fat.
Yes.
Because it's from an animal. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Unless it's a plant-based yogurt, right? Like coconut. Actually, coconut's saturated too because it's...
Oh, we're just making this more confusing. Let's just keep it simple.
Okay. We want it to be a nugget, right?
Ideally, yes.
Okay. All right. So plain or flavored?
Both. Let's talk about both.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about plain.
Definitely gold standard would be plain.
Plain, 0%.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you always tell me to buy.
Well, it could be 1% or 2%. It's not a huge deal. Plain is better. And then we add our own fruit or add our own vanilla or add our own honey or add our own flavoring.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think of the factory where they make the yogurt, you think they're putting plain first in, and then they add all these syrups and sweeteners and... in a massive amount. And
yeah, they're not adding like bucket loads of fresh fruit into it. They're adding some kind of like, it's essentially like jam or syrup that they're adding that's sort of maybe has a little bit of actual fruit.
And you've looked at the label and you said, whoa.
Well, that's when I stopped buying flavored yogurt. I would always buy it because it was often on sale and it'd be really cheap because yogurt's quite expensive.
We do buy flavored yogurt.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
still
we
do,
have some in the fridge
sometimes.
right now. I think there's like coconut or there's like cappuccino or something.
But knowing how to use it,
I usually add it to the plain.
well, that's what I mean. Yeah, you're using it as a topping rather than like as the main kind of, yeah. Because I would eat like a huge chunk and it's like, holy, that is a lot of sugar in there that I don't need.
And it's usually the probably fructose sugar, like it's the added sweeteners that are not great. I mean, I think we talked about in fatty liver and other conditions where maybe it affects your blood sugar control. Like it's just plain is better because you're not adding a whole bunch of extra sweeteners, because we do eat so much extra sugar in our day. If you're eating a lot of these like flavored oatmeal, like the granola bars, all the things that they have flavoring so that they taste good and it's sweetener.
Exactly. So maybe we should talk about, because there are some differences with the flavored ones that I've noticed, because I remember when I first started reading the labels on the yogurt, I noticed some of the flavored ones looked nutritionally better than some of the other ones. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what the differences would be, but some maybe,
nutritionally, what do you mean?
I guess some had less sugar, more protein kind of thing, and I don't know why, but I
more
mean,
protein. It was probably Greek versus the Icelandic or the
you're
other
right.
kind.
Yeah, I guess it would, because there's Greek flavored yogurt, and the Greek yogurt.
Greek flavored? No, it's a Greek. It's basically just strained.
It's Greek yogurt, but it's flavored.
Yeah.
So it's the thicker Greek yogurt, but it's flavored. So yeah, it has more protein.
Yes, we actually, there is an episode that we talked all about
Greek versus regular yogurt.
Yeah, and there's a blog article too about that. And the big difference is it's strained, like it's through a cheesecloth, so they lose that watery part and it gets more and more thick.
Okay.
But you lose the calcium part because that's the part, the watery part that is at the top of the yogurt. So when you open your yogurt, stir it in, don't drain it off.
Oh, I remember talking about that. Yeah. Yeah. What did the guy say when he opened the yogurt?
What?
No way.
Very funny.
No, that's funny. Yeah. He didn't like whey. He didn't like the watery stuff.
A lot of people don't like that.
No, I used to do that. I'm like, oh, gross, and I'd dump it off.
Gross. Yeah. Well, no, it's an active. It's actually.
I know.
I know. That's why yogurt's so good. It's got the probiotic, and it's one that most people, even if you have lactose intolerance or you don't like dairy, yogurt is usually well tolerated, especially plain yogurt.
Oh, really?
So I challenge you to try it if you have given up yogurt because you're like, I can't eat any dairy.
Oh, interesting.
You might be able to have yogurt.
Right.
And
true.
if you really can't, then go for a plant-based yogurt, and make sure that it has some lactobacillus or some sort of active culture so that you're getting that benefit, because it's really hard. There's not a lot of foods in our diet to give us the probiotics.
And that's like for your gut bacteria, right?
Yeah.
Probiotics. Yeah.
Yeah, the good bacteria. Exactly.
Yeah. There's not a lot of normal foods. Like there's things like kimchi and
kefir, sauerkraut.
Yeah, things that aren't going to be on everyone's menu of daily eating. You know, it's once in a while, if at all, because they're unusual flavors for some of those. They're not for everyone.
Yeah.
But yogurt, I would think, is a bit more common.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people can use yogurt as in their smoothie or as a snack.
You're probably not going to put kimchi or sauerkraut in your smoothie.
Gross.
Well, I'm just saying, right? So
no, but we do put it in our lunch. Like if on the side, we have a whole bunch of different, it's like a salad bar lunch.
I love it. I think it's a great flavor, but I'm unusual
not
with some of my
smoothie,
tastes.
no.
Yeah, no, not in a smoothie.
That's going a little too far.
So back to our original question, when we're shopping let's pretend you're taking me on a shopping tour. What would you tell me about buying yogurt?
So there's two things.
Okay.
We talked about the plain versus sweetened.
Okay. So plain is going to be better.
Yeah, plain is
but what
better.
if I really like sweetened yogurt? I don't like the plain.
Well,
I know, add my own fruit, but let's say ideally add my own fruit, but let's say I want to buy some flavored yogurt.
And yeah, there are people that I talk to that there's no way that they will buy plain yogurt. They hate the taste. They don't like it. It's a new diet food, maybe. I mean, this is like an older generation kind of thing. It's like, oh God,
right,
I don't eat that. What is that? And they'll have the flavored because it's sweet. It's a little bit closer to ice cream, I guess. But anyways, if you can, eat the plain. Just get over it.
Get over it.
If you can't, then maybe get two, like the plain and the flavored, and combine them.
Yeah, I do that with cottage cheese too. Add some flavored with the cottage cheese. You're going to get a lot of the protein with the cottage cheese. What do you do?
You put flavored yogurt with cottage cheese?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Then you're not getting a whole bowl of the sugary flavored stuff, but you're still getting you get the same amount, because cottage cheese doesn't really have much flavor to it. So you're adding the flavor of the yogurt and you're getting the bulk kind of with the cottage cheese.
I do that in my smoothie. Like I'll put cottage cheese in the smoothie, and there's probably some yogurt in there too, either flavored or plain. But generally, like we do use plain for like sour cream alternative.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's very hard to tell the difference.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's good. And remember, we need to get at least 3.5 servings of calcium-rich foods a day. Everybody does. We talked about this on, I think it was the episode on, Are You a Milk Drinker?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a couple of weeks ago, and I highly recommend you listen to that, because it's about the long-term effects of not getting enough calcium-rich foods. And it's really hard to do in our society. And the thing is, okay, maybe people hundreds of years ago didn't have milk and they weren't drinking dairy, or they weren't taking dairy foods, but they were also running a lot and moving their body and stressing their bones. We don't do that as much in our society. We're sedentary. We have the sitting disease, where we're sitting too long of the day, like too many minutes in the day, we're sitting like long periods.
So we have to make up for that by like strengthening our bones through our diet?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's 3 pillars with our bone health, and that's calcium, exercise, and vitamin D. I know it's not a nutrition nuggets anyway. We're going way too far.
Here we go again.
So 2 things with yogurt. Plain.
Okay. Yeah.
And what's the fat percentage?
That's what we should be looking for.
Yeah. So if you're trying to kind of like watch your calories and lose weight, if you're trying to manage your weight, I would go with the 0%. I would go with a lower fat yogurt.
Okay.
Because it's just a little bit extra calories if you're going to have the 3% or 10%. 10% is a lot extra calories because it's a lot of extra fat.
Well, and read the label. I mean, look at the percentages and the flavor, but also flip it over and read the label and see what that means as far as those numbers.
Yeah, take some time and actually compare. Like compare a plain to another plain. So a plain 0% and a plain 10%, and see the difference in calories and the difference in fat.
Right. Yeah. Because
that's huge. It's huge.
Yeah. That's where you'll notice it.
Yeah. And you know what? The thing is, if we're getting a lot of extra calories, then it's stored as fat because we're not moving. That's, like I said, our culture and our society, we just don't move enough through the day because we have sedentary work. We're sitting at a desk. We're driving in a car. We're not moving. We're not running and chasing animals like we used to as, hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
When we didn't
or having animals chase us. Probably more the case.
Yeah, exactly.
Run.
Well, if we were hunting.
Yeah, well, or being hunted though.
Right.
It's full circle.
Yes.
See, that's the beauty of nowadays. We're kind of at the top of the food chain. So it's kind of a benefit. We don't have to watch our back as much.
Detriment to our health.
True. Yeah.
Because it's just our environment is we're so lazy, or what's the word? Just we're not moving enough.
Yeah.
And
inactive maybe.
We're too comfortable.
Yes. There we go. Creatures of comfort.
Yes.
That's who we are now. Awesome. All right. Well, hopefully that is a little bit of information about what to look for. Check those labels. Look at those numbers on the front because they actually mean something. And do a little research to see what the difference is maybe try different ones. If you haven't tried the Greek yogurt before, it's really nice. Yeah. Let us know too how you make out with your research, and maybe you'll be able to tell us something we don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a good source of protein. It's good for getting protein in your snack or in your smoothie, in your breakfast, in your lunch. It's also got calcium, vitamin D, and a whole host of good nutrients, so keeps you full longer. And it's got the probiotics to help with gut health. So yeah, yogurt's a really good food. And I think it actually comes up on the superfoods next week.
Oh, right.
Remember? Yeah.
Yes, I do. Awesome. Yeah. So like Sandra said before, we did do an episode on yogurt a while back. So you can scroll back through the episode list and look at that.
And there's a blog article, full blog article all about Greek versus regular.
Yeah. So that's on the website at mywifethedietitian.com. If you have questions too, or like I said, if you want to let us know how your yogurt research went, you want to email us about that or anything else, you can reach us at mywifetherg@gmail.com. You can check out our social media pages too. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Feel free to reach out to us there as well. Leave us a comment, give us a like, a 5-star rating or a review or a smiley face or a thumbs up or whatever else is appropriate.
Let's do a yogurt taste test.
Right now?
Yeah.
Like right now?
Yeah. Yeah, like plain.
Like while
flavored.
while we're recording?
No, just
after
this. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love yogurt though.
I love yogurt too. All right. I think that's it. I think we're done. It's time to go eat yogurt. Thanks for tuning in today. We will be back on Monday, like we said, with our
pets like yogurt too.
Well, I know that's the thing. If there's any left in my bowl, I'll give it to the dog to lick.
And the cats. And they tolerate it. I think it's good for their guts too.
Must be.
I think so. It's good for getting medications in too. Like for cats, for dogs, for elderly people.
I think that the next blog article needs to be like 101 uses for yogurt. It's like the one we did on potatoes. We're talking about cleaning your shovel with your potato and polishing your shoes. And yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting on a tangent here. We will be back on Monday with our, what did we call it? Superfoods? Is that our smart food? Superfood? Superfoods. Okay. That'll be our full episode on Monday. So be sure to tune in for that. And in the meantime, have a great week, everybody. Go eat some yogurt. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.